reality of that culture. A man once said to me, Socrates wrote in a very lofty language. Yes, sometimes he did. He also told prostitutes how they ought to conduct themselves. The, the whole thought was to get rid of the desires of the body by sanctifying them. That is hedonism. That came out in two basic philosophies of the Greeks. The Stoicism said the basic desires were to be denied. The Epicureanism said they were to be fulfilled all the way. The wife of a Roman in the Roman world was a chattel. She was a workhorse. A man generally had several wives. One had charge of the kitchen, another had charge of the living area, another had charge of the clothes. Sex was secondary because the man went up to the temple where the good looking girls were kept. There they celebrated the seasons of fertility. And believe me, friend, that is what was carried on. You will still find the same thing among the Bedouins in Palestine today. They have several wives, and it is a practical thing for them. One takes care of the sheep, another goes with the man as he wanders around, another stays back at home base where they have a tent and probably a few fruit trees. He thinks he needs at least three wives. Now, Paul lifts marriage out of the heights, out of this degradation, and says to the Corinthians, they are not to live like that. Every man is to have one wife, and every woman is to have one husband. Paul lifted women from the place of slavery in the pagan world, the Roman Empire, and made her a companion of man. He restored her to her rightful position. He was in Ephesus when he wrote to the Corinthians, and in Ephesus there was much the same thing in the awful temple of Diana. It was to the Ephesians that Paul wrote, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. That's Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. We read that a minute ago. Now, I know somebody is going to say that he also told the wives to obey their husbands. I would like to know where he said that. He did write, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord, Ephesians 5 and verse 22. It also says in that, he doesn't have that here, but it also says submit one to another. Have you ever looked up the word submit to see what it means? To submit means to respond. When wives are to respond to their own husbands, the wife is to react to the man. Man is the aggressor. He initiates the expression of love, and the woman is the receiver. That is not the matter of sex alone. It involves a couple uh, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, and uh, physi- physiology, physically. Man is the aggressor, woman is the receiver. God created man and woman that way in the beginning. He created woman as the helpmeet, a helper suitable for him or corresponding to him. I think my wife calls it a brushar. She is the other part of man. When the husband says, I love you, she answers, I love you. When a woman admits that he has a cold wife, he is really saying that he is a failure as a husband and that he is the blame for that condition. Paul lifts women from the slave state to that of a